Now, it's been 2 weeks into the month of December and we've lost only a single trade, and that was actually on US 30. And mind you, we've dropped quite a lot of trades. And so it doesn't look like we're just talking. I'm going to attach the full record of these trades just around the corner somewhere. 100% of these trades were also dropped in the free channel just a few minutes after dropping in the private channel. Now, what if I tell you that every single of those trades were based on a single strategy? Every single one of them. And if you can stick from beginning till the end of this video, I'll be showing you how we did it on live trades now. And we'll be using this exact same strategy to storm into the market live right now. And this is actually extremely easy, that even if you've never traded your entire life, you should be able to understand exactly how this works now within the next few minutes. Then, just before we go on, if you're new to the Scalper YouTube channel, just remember to hit on subscribe button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any videos that will be dropping out from this place. So that not to waste so much time, let's dive in now. Boom. All right. Okay, guys. So this is exactly what we're having. So we're just having a normal boom chart today. Now, the reason why we're using a normal boom and crash today is just because of the comment section. So a lot of people have been requesting, Mr. P, you only use US 100 as NASDAQ and XAUSD, that's gold, and US 30 and the rest of them. How come you don't use boom and crash at all again for the sake of us that trade synthetic indices only and things like that? So I'm like, okay, today let's actually just use a normal boom 500 chart so that every single person is happy. But aside from that, this particular stuff, you can use it perfectly on a US 100 because that's what we've been using since this month started. And you can easily use it also on your XAUSD because that's exactly what we'll be using on your US 30 also. That's exactly what we'll be using since this month actually. Even though we've been using this exact strategy since this month started, we actually lost one trade, and that was actually on a US 30. Now that's to tell you that this is not 100% accurate, right? So it can have some times where there can be a flip-flop. Aside from that, we're looking at over 98% accuracy. Also, one of our traders actually on XAUSD that lasted for 3 days straight actually uploaded that video also here, right? That particular trade, we didn't exactly use this exact strategy. That's because we're actually recording a video so that you can actually understand some complex activities also on the chart. All right, now just like I told you, we're actually having just over $800. That's what we're having there, and this is actually on a boom 500, and we're using a 50-minute time frame. The very first thing, I'm going to show you exactly how the price action of this chart works, number one. After that, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use your normal standard indicator strategy. That's if you don't want to stress yourself at all, and this is majorly for complete beginners, right? So even if you've never heard of the chart your entire life, if you can simply follow the principles of the indicator strategy I will show you after this, then you should be able to achieve exact same results. Either you use the normal price action or you just stick with the indicator, the result will be one and the same. We actually have that the chart is just dropping down smoothly like this, right? Now on a boom 500, right? Now if I take this stuff like this again, it's even more clear, right? You can see it was pushing up, it hits the zone. After that, it started dropping down crazy like this, right? Good. Now in checking out that particular stuff, if we try zooming out again now, we can easily just plot out a chart like this. This was actually a first touch, and this was actually a second touch, right? Hit the spot, drop down, hit the spot, drop down, hit a third touch, after which it dropped down again, right? And then after that, after a third touch, what did you notice? It pushed up towards particular range, right? Because, well, that's actually the normal nature of our third touches, right? Now it pushed up towards particular range, and then what do you notice? It broke this at top at this particular spot, right? You can literally see that it literally broke this particular spot. Now, whenever you see a formation like this is what we call a time bomb, right? Now, what that means is that we're about to have a nice push towards the top, but then we don't know yet, right? So we're just going to keep relaxing. And then after that, what do we notice? It dropped down below again towards particular range, after which it pushed up towards particular spot. Then at this particular spot, what do you notice? You notice that there's actually a crazy build up here, right? And then you know what happens on build up, especially if you've watched our previous video. That's just a most recent video, the video just before this. You know that the build-up will always push towards the direction of the breakout, right? And so when we have a build-up around this region, we are seeing that this particular chart is pushing up towards particular range. What do you think is going to happen? It's just going to push up, right? Smoothly, just like that. But then before that, here is where we actually have a major concept or a major strategy. Now we'll have that the charts will start playing around this range, right? So if we track this stuff down like this, you should notice that the chart will be playing around this range, which you see that it's doing, right? It starts dropping and playing around this range. Now as it's playing around this range, where is it heading to? Towards a build up, right? Which is actually around the spot. This is exactly where it's heading to. So immediately as it hits a major build-up at about this region, that's the origin of our build-up, which is actually at this spot, right? This is actually the origin of our build-up, right? Now, immediately as it hits that range, I can easily storm into this particular trade smoothly just like that. That's basically all. And so if you check all our trades for this month, right, which I already dropped on the screenshot, if you try backdating all of these trades, you should see this exact formation. It's either it's occurring on a 15 minutes time frame, or it's occurring on a 1 hour time frame, or it's occurring on a 4 hours time frame, or sometimes occurring on a 5 minutes time frame. Now you can easily run through all of these particular trades and you see this exact formation. But then to make it even easier now, let me actually show you exactly how to use this particular stuff without even understanding the price action behind it. You are just going to follow the indicator just exactly how it is and you're going to get exact same result. Boom. All right. Okay guys, now this is exactly what you're having. Now the very first indicator you can see here, which is actually red here, is what we call a variable index dynamic average, where we're actually having a period of 42, right? A period CMO of 42, and then we're having a period EMA of 10, right? So that's what we're having. And then in terms of the apply to, we're actually using apply to median price. That's exactly what we're using on this place. Now the second indicator here is what we actually call a fractal adaptive moving average, where we're using a period here of 66, and then the apply to is also a normal median. Now everything becomes extremely easy to the extent that even if you've never seen charts in your entire life, you should be able to understand this. Now look at this. Now this particular, my blue line now, what do I notice? It's dropping down. Suddenly it started moving horizontally. It's supposed to be going down like this and going up and playing. Now the reason why it's moving horizontally around this region is because this particular spot is actually a nice support level, right? Now let's track it out. You see this other one, a nice support level, even though yeah, it's acting as a build up, but let's leave price action. Now this is actually a nice support level. And then we look at this spot again where it moved horizontally, a nice support level. Let's look for another one. Yeah, is actually a nice support level. It's actually caught around the spot. Okay, yeah, it didn't move horizontally, and then you can just keep tracking it like that. Any spot you actually see where it moved like this, it becomes a nice support level if it's at the bottom, of course, and if it's at the top, it becomes a nice resistance level, right? Now, in such a way that currently we're actually having a nice support level at about the spot, right? It pushed up towards particular range, and then what did you notice happen around the spot? It actually gave another one here, right? A straight horizontal. It's supposed to go up, but now it's moving horizontally, telling me that this particular stop is actually another nice support level, right? And then after that, what do we notice? It pushed up towards particular range. Now good. Now what do we notice? The blue line was at the bottom, at the bottom, at the bottom. It kept playing around the bottom, and then suddenly what do I notice? I noticed that it suddenly pushed above the top like this. Now whenever you see a major formation like this, all I'm waiting for is very simple. I'm just waiting for this particular chart to drop back down towards where I'm having my horizontal range at about this spot. That's actually around this spot. If we check out the one that occurred before, which is actually at this range, we can't really use this. The reason is because this particular stop had not created a second touch, so we didn't really understand the movement at all. It actually just created this, started dropping down. There's no other touch, and later on it actually created a touch here, right? It created this other touch, which was the first touch around the spot. So because of that, we can't really use this particular stop. So we'll only focus on any other stop that occurs after this other second touch, right? Because that's just how trend works, right? We can't really know any trend if we don't have at least two touches, right? So we need to have one and then two, and then we can understand the movement of the trade, right? Now in such a way that this particular stuff was dropping like this, and suddenly what we notice occurred at around this range? We noticed that a huge push actually occurred at about this spot, right? After occurring, this my blue line actually broke above my red line, which you can literally see at about the spot. After that, I'm just waiting for all of these candlesticks to come back to where we actually had this horizontal movement here. Now the main thing now becomes, where do we place our take profits and where do we place a stop loss? Now to place a stop loss, we just simply look for the previous level that had a horizontal push, right, which was actually this, right? So this particular spot actually had a nice horizontal push, which was this. So I can just place my stop loss just below this level, right, where we actually had a horizontal push, right? I can actually just place my stop loss just below this level, so that I'm targeting just between these levels. That's if I actually go into this trade, I'm targeting just in between this level as my stop loss, right? And of course my take profit, now I can actually use my bearish engulfing, because we're actually buying now. I can actually use my bearish engulfing, but based on we're using boom and crash today, bearish engulfing candlestick is not sustainable, especially if you trade boom and crash a lot. So because of that, we're going to be using candlestick structure, right? So that what we just be waiting for is actually just an evening star. So anytime anytime we actually get an evening star in the market, we can easily just zoom off the trade, or if this particular stop actually hits a stop loss. So those are the only two reasons that can make us leave this trade. Now, if you're a complete beginner and you are scared for your capital, you can easily just go on the chart also and add an extra indicator called fractals. So the fractals should actually show you all the important take profit levels on the chart. So if you place in your fractals, you can easily see all the levels to leave. You don't have to leave like us now using our normal using a normal evening star to leave this trade. You can just decide to use just your normal fractals. When you see a fractal compiling within a particular level, you know that particular level you should actually zoom up the trade. So guys, let's actually stomp into this particular trade now, guys. Let's just use like 2 lot sizes. Okay, so I'm just going to be using 2 lot sizes. So just go 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4. All right, let's just add 1 more, so there will just be 6, right? So we're just having like 6 trades. Okay, it's fine. So we just have like 6 trades of 2 lot sizes, right? So we already know our stop loss level. We already know how we're going to be zooming up the trade. I already told you, if you're a complete beginner, you can actually just use your normal fractals. Your fractals should show you all the horizontal levels that you can easily use to zoom up this particular trade. We'll just be right back, guys. We'll just watch out for the next few minutes, next few hours to actually see how this particular trade actually goes.
A few moments later.
All right, okay guys, so this is exactly how this particular stop actually goes. So we actually have that this particular stop has just been pushing smoothly, really smoothly currently, and so it actually just broke out from this level. Now look at this, guys. This particular stop actually heads towards a stop loss. It literally almost hit a stop loss also around the spot. If this stop had hit a stop loss, that would have been 2 trades that would have lost for the month so far. But then this particular stop actually just pushed up smoothly like this, right, towards particular range, right? And then what we actually had here, if you look at this particular stop, what we actually had here is that was actually an evening star. So you can literally see that. So we just kept waiting and waiting. Immediately, so we actually had a perfect evening start about the spot. Boom, we are zooming up this particular trade now. So we actually didn't really made a lot, right? We just made roughly like 1.3k. Now if this was on gold and we're using, let's say, unlimited leverage, well, you know how much you would have made from this chart. We can easily zoom off this particular trade now, guys. We can easily zoom off this particular trade. Closing this particular trade, we're actually just having just roughly 2.1k, right? So that's exactly what we're having currently at about this spot now. Boom. All right. Okay, guys, just remember, for every single video they can hit over 1,000 likes within 24 hours. That's before we actually hit over 100,000 subscribers. I'll be coming back to that very video, running through the comment section, and I'll be selecting 3 random traders that will be funding $3,000 each, just like that. And lastly, the Mr. PFX Medical Grants is currently open. That's, you can literally just use the email that is already in the description box there. You can simply click on the email to apply for this medical grant. That is, you just simply need to drop proof that you need an urgent medical surgery. That's anything that has to do with neurological or cardiovascular, or anything that has to do with orthopedics and the rest of them, any complicated surgery at all. Also, this is available for those that need some urgent life-saving medications. That's if you need some life-saving medications that you can't afford on your own, you can also just hit on the email down below there to actually just apply, and make sure you actually attach proof. That's proof showing diagnosis and proof showing that you can afford these particular medications or these particular surgeries also. That just as podcast actually goes, guys. Just remember to hit on subscription button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping out from this place. So bye from me, guys. I'm Mr. P. Peace.